belief that you saw last year when they were on their way to the title?
No, I didn't tonight. I didn't tonight.
Have you seen in recent weeks a Chelsea team playing with that belief and appetite and enthusiasm?
No, I didn't on Wednesday.
You see, this could yet be a good season, but will it be?
Well,
if things don't change.
Listen, I mean, Jean knows this club better than you and I do, but from what I've seen in the last couple of games, we've said it, and everyone's said it, there's something not right there. And sadly for Chelsea, it's like the same old problem. It was the same with Villas-Boas when he went in. He didn't last long, but you could tell it was not right there. The players were not having him at all. They played, whatever anyone says, they played Josie out. No doubt in my mind they played Josie out. You don't win the title, finish 10th because you don't like the manager and win the title the next year. That's not right. So they played Josie out, and they could, if they want, play Conte out. But I just think that Antonio hasn't helped himself. I think from day one this season, he's been unhappy. He's not liked what's been happening in the transfer market. He's felt he's been left short, although they spent over 100 million and they strengthened at centre-back and in midfield and in up front. So he's not been happy with what he's had, and I think sometimes that transmits to your players. I don't know. Sometimes it does. I think in the modern game more so than ever. In my time, it wouldn't bother you who was coach. You played for the club, and that was it. But it's different now, I think, and players will down tools occasionally. That wasn't a Chelsea performance I'm used to seeing, I have to say.
We'll get Gianfranco's thoughts on the match that we've watched tonight when we come back. Watford 4, Chelsea 1.
Gianfranco, come back.
Tough one.
4-1 final score. Let's get back and hear from... He looks pleased with that, doesn't he? Jan, what did you see or what did you not see from Chelsea tonight?
No, I was saying I'm a little bit puzzled because obviously everybody knows it's a delicate moment. So performance-wise, I was expecting a little bit more spark in the players and something that I didn't see. So I wasn't happy with that. I think I can understand some mistakes because obviously it's not a brilliant moment, but I would expect the team to be a little bit more reactive that it's been. And then they've been good and luck at the same time to get back. But to concede the other 3 goals...
Well, having got back in it, 1-1, and it's a very good equaliser, isn't it? I think we all felt Chelsea can win this, didn't we?
That was a terrific equaliser. Well, I think Chelsea certainly thought they could. No surprise to see what he does here. It's a stunning finish. Another one of the catalogue of wonderful strikes we've seen this weekend. And they look a little puzzled, they're a little bit unsure. But there's not a lot you can do when Hazard's in that kind of form when he can do this, is there, Jean?
No, when he's on the move like that, he's nearly unstoppable. So, to be fair, he's one of the few that I saw him, trying very hard, and I appreciate that. But as I said, what I didn't like is, and it happened also the other wickets, they conceded one, which is the second one, and then they conceded the other two in a matter in a few minutes.
3 here in 7 minutes.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Dal Janmaat plays everything quite right. I mean, it's great feet, but he's carving through a Chelsea defence that was non-existent there.
But you remember last year how Chelsea was not only tight but also reactive on the ball. So, I mean, I saw so many plays. Here is a brilliant play, but in my opinion, they should be a little bit more reactive.
I think there's one or two players. Fabregas doesn't do a lot. Kante doesn't do a lot. You know, Azpilicueta doesn't do a lot. It all seemed just so comfortable. Says it's a token gesture. Kante doesn't. It's not like him. It didn't look right to me. Again, that's a big decision in the game. Hazard not happy. I mean, that could easily have been a free kick. Looked a free kick to me at the time, but they don't shut him down. It took our
commentary team tonight, Andy, a little while, but that's not going in unless it gets that big deflection.
No, the keeper's saving that easily. The keeper's saving that easy. If it doesn't, if Gary Cahill's studs don't get the ball. But I just think, as well, Jean, I don't know what happens these days. I don't know why players let players back them into the penalty area. without going and challenging them at all.
But Andy,
also, Aspilicueta should have been
Charles,
quicker
you just
to
see
come
it
back.
what is Luis doing? Look, he's just virtually running away. He's not
Well,
interested.
that's what I'm saying.
Look,
What I was always taught as a kid, that you should face up make him do something outside the penalty area. As soon as he backs you into the penalty area, you're in
that's
trouble.
when Luis runs away.
Yeah. And then another one
That
where
could
they
be
just
a foul
pinched the
again,
ball.
couldn't it?
It might have been a foul again, yeah, easily. This is a good finish.
To be
Really
fair,
good
this
finish.
is a good goal.
Yeah.
This is a good finish. But again, as I said, we were used to see Chelsea players very reactive physically, and right now is what is lacking the most.
Let's not forget, this is a system that was apparently unplayable last year.
Yes. Well, listen, there was a lot of things went their way last year. They weren't in the Champions League last year. They weren't in the FA Cup or League Cup for long. They played about 40 games in total last year. Didn't have an injury to any of their top
We did
players.
say that.
You know,
You're
so-
right. You're right.
But that's, I don't think, Shan, surely the fact that they're still in the FA Cup, they're in the Champions League, we cannot blame just that for these kind of performances, can we?
No, we can't. Obviously, we cannot. We have to be realistic. It's not a good enough performance for a team like Chelsea.
Let's not forget Watford were a goal up for the best part of an hour.
Yeah.
Plainly,
But also in the first half.
of course, plainly there were
no.
questions back in the UK as well about that. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been asked during the questions back in the UK as well about that. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been asked during the post-match interview.
Yeah, I get that.
Were you caught?
But maybe that's just the way they look at things back in the UK. But listen, to me, it's a penalty. I don't care if he makes it more theatrical than it was. It's still a penalty. If a goalkeeper comes across like that and doesn't get the ball and takes you out,
No, it's, I mean, if you take five referees from 5 different countries, each one of them will give the penalty.
there you go.
Do you know what? I think it'll be very interesting because I think that there will be some calling for him to receive retrospective action. You watch.
Well, let's wait and see.
You watch.
No,
And anyway,
not by
Chelsea,
anyone who knows anything about football.
Chelsea did
That's a different matter entirely.
Exactly.
Troy Deeney with beIN Sports, Carrie Brown. One or two things by way of housekeeping to tidy up. Chelsea were reduced to 10 tonight. It is worth remembering that. No referee has sent more players off in the Premier League than Mike Dean. 89 now.
I can understand why.
Yeah,
I can see why.
Yeah, I mean that's still just a clumsy tackle from Bakayoko. No malice, no
But
intent.
you see what I say about he didn't react to it.
No,
In
he
the
didn't.
second half, there was an incident when he waved play
He
on,
waved play on,
and
yeah,
came
no, he
back
did.
and made it. He doesn't see a foul here. I'm sure he doesn't.
No,
He hears
because
a
there isn't
scream.
really a tackle. Bakayoko kind of falls into the ankle, gets trapped underneath here, and that's where the pain came for Kapui. It wasn't like he got, and as soon as that arm goes up and he starts screaming, Mike Dean blows his whistle.
No way near.
He couldn't wait, could he?
No, he couldn't wait. You know, I think it's.
Yeah, I
that's-
don't like.
He couldn't wait.
Don't like it.
When you talk about game management, that's a complete lack of game management for me. That's a nonsense if you send off someone for that, because they know they have to send the player off. Mike Dean doesn't.
No.
He's like a scattergun effect. Let's get all the cards I can out and send them off. The cards, they know they have to send the player off. Mike Dean doesn't.
No.
He's like a scattergun effect. Let's get all the cards I can out and send them off.
They're after you, mate, Jan.
Yeah, I think sometimes players they have a bad day. Sometimes also journalists have a bad day. Some of the questions they
wrong.
could have been avoided. I mean, we have to be also a little bit more classy. Eh?
That's true. Very good. Well put.
Weekend by numbers.
It's a good weekend for goals this weekend. 35. It's very, very good.
5
Excellent.
different penalties. Only 3 converted.
Yeah, 2 missed or saved.
And 1 away win.
Yeah, that was.
Bucks the trend a little, I think, doesn't it? There's been plenty of those this year.
There has been plenty of those this year.
We've got FA Cup football Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. Channel choices to the right-hand side. Swansea play Notts County Tuesday night. And on Wednesday, Newport County go to Wembley to play Tottenham Hotspur.
Good luck.
Big thanks to Gianfranco Zola for
Yes.
making the effort to come and see us again.
Pleasure.
Absolutely delighted to have spent time in his company this weekend. Thank you. Andy and myself will see you Friday for another episode of Keys and Grey. And I rather suspect there'll be a few things to irritate Andy with
Oh,
by
thank
then.
you. I'll enjoy my week then.